Okay, this video is for Aunt Grace's art and some of my art. And my cousin brought me Aunt Grace's art when he was taking care of her affairs, and an entire ton of rocks. This particular violin in front, she won an award. I want to say it was like 1974, and I have the ribbon downstairs in a different box. She had a case made for it with a rotisserie motor, and it sat in her living room like my whole life and spun around, and it was just always magical to us kids. And also, you did not run at Aunt Grace's house. So turn it around, honey. And if you can see on the back, she did the entire violin. She sold these, and she would sell them for a lot because the costume jewelry is like the good quality costume jewelry. There wasn't any like 99-cent things. Turn it more to the back. There we go. She didn't really like to use red stones. She only used them when she had to. She preferred blue, and it's just Elmer's white glue and green glitter, and it kind of makes like a cement. Turn it fully around, and then let's bring her closer. So this is one of the first ones that she made, and she won the award for it, and she was very happy with it. I don't know what kind of angle we're getting from the sun. We're going to move this one out, and we're going to pick up the other one. And this one she made a few years later, but still in the 1970s. And I'm going to see if I can go in a little bit on it, but it's a little hard with the sun. Turn it a little bit. And this one just had a case. I made two of these violins. I used on the first one like the choker, the rhinestone necklaces, so on the side it fully engulfed it. And I can get a picture of one of them. It's still at my dad's, but not now. Turn it more, honey. Okay, bring it forward. Okay, and off in the distance there we have Aunt Grace's bird and her ship. And these things that she would make, now these she made and she kept, but she made other examples of them and she would sell them. And these have been in my basement, which is the most humid controlled part of my house, but as you can see, still have some trouble with like what was glued together. But these stay glued together forever. Might lose a stone here and there, but not very much. So that is her dove, and she was really very happy, and I'm very happy to have these, and I'm keeping these. So I'm downsizing a lot of the rocks because clearly I have a lot. Kels, the ship. Okay, and then this, and these are actually just cut from cardboard. So she had cut the design and made the frames. And as you can see here, same problem I'm having is that you make it and you use a frame and then it's a little sketchy. Of course, this one's probably 30 some, maybe 40 years old. The one I'm going to show, my frame is solid, but not solid enough to sell. So let's do the bird now. This is a very beautiful example. And I don't know where she got this bird. I do know this was a piece that she has in pictures, again, from the 1970s when she started making it. And as far as I know, it's the only one. It is totally encrusted in jewels all the way around, and it hangs from these very sturdy spikes. I'm going to pull it up to show her underside. So she is just gorgeous. It also has a case it hangs in. And then she made this beautiful little shoe, and it's jewel encrusted. I made one of these for my friend. She liked it, but she also asked why I can't ever buy a present. And then this one is one that actually was in a case, but it fell out. So as you can see, the work is solid, but the framing didn't last. And here I wanted to show this because this is just a clear stone, and then she used the green foil to make it a green stone behind it. So anybody can do that. You just put the foil, and you don't glue it to the stone, you glue it to the underside and then glue the stone around, because otherwise you'll see the glue. So you can see it there. So that's a nice way of making a colored stone if you don't want to use a clear one. Give me the nice ship, honey. I just want the ship. I don't want the box. Okay. So I'm going to hand this to back there. I made one of these too, and actually it's one of the ones I did the best on, and it's at my dad's too. And I had an actual jewelry anchor, and I used it here, and this may have had one, but this is a very nice example, and I think this is like a copper ship that Aunt Grace used, and nothing really over here, but she did fill in the back side of it. And then we have one more, and this is reminiscent of what Aunt Grace would sell. She would always do the fairs. This is a very nice frame, but this one in particular, it looks simple, but the whole thing glows under black light. So she was very excited about that. And she actually gave this one to us as a gift because she thought the offspring would like it. Although I don't have a black light. Okay, hand me, girl. And this one I made when Aunt Grace passed away. So I'd made 2 violins, the ship, and something else. But it's a lot of work, and I do like doing it, but I don't want to make any more. They're heavy, and the framing is very hard. Lean it back just a touch. So when I initially made this, right after Aunt Grace had passed away, had different eyes, and the eyes were more outsider art than it is now. Now it kind of looks like a normal person with her marble eyes, but the framing that it has now means that I can't sell it. I'd have to do something with the framing. Okay, let's go on to the next one, honey. So this is what I do like making. I'm going to make more of these, but not necessarily skulls. So what I was trying for in the rock hunting vein was like where the skull would be coming out of the marble. Back it up a little bit. And it's hard to see. Okay, now I think we've got good color now. So I just used paper mache, and he's a paper mache mask that I made from a mask, which was actually really hard. And if she can tip it back a little bit in the sunlight, in his eyes it glows gold back there. So that's kind of neat. His framing is solid because of how much glue and paper mache is on it. And then we have back him up to the dolphins. This one was kind of a mistake. It was a good idea, but I'll never do another one because I wanted to recycle the plastic, and this is before plastic recycling was a thing. So that is a lot of mustard containers that everybody was saving for me, and then coffee containers, red coffee containers. I'm not sure what was in the blue, but she came together pretty good. She's solid. She made it through the heat last summer when the air conditioning was out. I like her very much. Definitely, I used E6000, so I'm not making any more because it held together well, but not good. So we just have a couple more to show, and this is made, maybe 75 concrete creations, which was a great idea, but then really hard to take to shows and fairs and festivals and flea markets. Especially like the girl, because she was like a broken, because you can't stack anything. These you can stack, but then if you get like 10 or 15 of these, it's like you're really working a railroad moving them all. And then this one is actually for tabletop, and I covered it in felt, and I really like that one. And this one, we have one in the garage that actually has a crystal here, but I wanted to see the viability of using like the broken containers. And it worked fine with the lead crystal in the sun and with these little candle guys in the sun. No problems whatsoever, no cracking, didn't even get hot. And we have one more if we don't run out of time. I think we might. And this is really reminiscent of what Aunt Grace would take to the sale, because she would make these and have the really nice frames, but she made this frame. So it's just the frame on the outside and the board. And we're gonna run out of time, but when you open that, there are tacks in there. But she always sold, and she had a wonderful time doing it, and she was really well known in her community. And I think that's all of our art that we have to show for today.